Council will call this meeting to order. For the record, it is April 15th, 2025 at 4:37 PM. We'll begin this afternoon's work session with roll call attendance.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilman Cavanagh.
Here.
Councilwoman Little Roberts.
Here.
Councilman Taylor.
Here.
Councilman Overton.
Here.
Councilman Whitlock.
Here.
Mayor Simison.
Here. First up is adoption of the agenda.
Here.
Councilman Cavanagh.
We adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt the agenda. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the agenda is agreed to. Next up is the consent agenda.
Mayor,
Councilman Cavanagh.
move we approve the consent agenda for the mayor to sign, the clerk to attest.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the consent agenda is agreed to. No items removed from the consent agenda, so we'll move on to Department Commission reports. First up is item 8, which is a department report, acquisition of approximately 40.82 acres of future community park. And it's over to Director Sidaway.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. It is my pleasure to stand before you today and bring this potential property purchase forward, something we've been working on for a year. We are near the finish line of what's been a long but very good process. So I'm going to present to you the highlights of what we've been working on. I know it was last before you in January with the letter of intent. So I know you're all familiar with where we were going, but still I'm going to, let's start with the location. So I've got the park site on here with a star, and I also labeled Hawaii High School because that's probably the closest knowable landmark. And so this park site sits about a mile to the west and a little bit north of where Hawaii High School is. Some of the major crossroads on here, this is Canada, and then this is McMillan along here. U sticks down below, and so that's the location of the park. If you remember about last fall, back in October, I stood before you and gave you my overview of the next 10 years and the future Meridian Park system. So I thought this would be a good segue there because I presented to you at that time. The ones in the bright pink are all of the future parks, and this one over here in the northwest corner of the city is the property we're talking about tonight. So this is one we've been anticipating for a while and had built into our future plans. And yeah, that's the location as part of the Fields District. So this is the park site itself. You can see the shape and I just want to talk about the colors on the map here just a little bit. The green outline is the outline of the park. You can see what will be a future collector road along the west side of that park. And then I'll talk about the yellow and the blue. The yellow piece is that corner is a piece of property that's part of Intermountain Gas that would become part of the park because the future collector will cut through it. And then the blue piece would be a remnant piece of the Hawaii holding property that would then go to Intermountain Gas because it's on their side of the future collector. So that's where the Intermountain Gas property gets involved in this. So here's the highlights. We would be acquiring 39.9 acres from Hawaii Holdings, about 0.9 acres or just less than an acre from Intermountain Gas, the piece in the yellow. And so the total park site is about 40.8 acres. The cost of that property, we would be purchasing from Hawaii Holdings that land for $3,925,587. The value of that land is just under $7 million. So the difference is over $3 million, which would be a donation to the city of Meridian from that group. And Mark Bottles, who is here, has been instrumental in orchestrating that donation. and putting this together. The Intermountain Gas piece is not a donation. That would just be purchased at fair market value of $168,684. So the total cost of $4,094,271. There are some closing costs on top of that, but those funds we have been anticipating and come out of our park impact fees. So with that, we have some next steps on your agenda. The first is a budget amendment. The budget amendment is on there as $4,250,000. We did just receive the closing cost estimates just this morning. And in talking with Kurt Starman, who's also been instrumental in putting all the legal side of this together, we can either approve it as is, or we can reduce it down to $4,115,000, which would cover the closing costs. The end result will be the same because regardless, any amount that we don't spend just goes back into the Park Impact Fund at the end of the day. So either way is fine. And then there are two resolutions following, one for the purchase from Owyhee Holdings and one for the land purchase from Intermountain Gas. And we are scheduled to close with the title company in a couple weeks on April 30th. So I want to say a public thank you to the Mark Bottles team, and in particular, Emily Mueller on his team has been instrumental in working with us over the last several months and helping to coordinate this partnership and donation and the purchase. And also want to recognize, while I'm being the voice, Kurt Starman, who is here, deserves a whole lot of the credit in helping us piece this together. As you can tell from the number of attachments, there are many pieces to this puzzle. And so I owe a lot to the two gentlemen that stand behind me in helping us put this together. But I'm excited to bring this forward, and I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you, Steve. Council, any questions?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Overton.
so much a question as a comment. We're couple of us got to go tour this property early on to take a look at it and see how feasibility was for a future park. And I think we're all pretty impressed with where it was and how it's at. Really want to just say initially a thank you for all the hard work you and Kurt and Mark Bottles did to help put this thing together, and what a great opportunity it is for the city in an area where we really needed a park. Second thing, just so it's clear as mud as we move forward, we are looking at funding this acquisition from impact fees, and we are not looking at impacting any general fund monies to make this acquisition happen.
That is correct. Yeah, we're a save before you spend organization, and we have anticipated the acquisition of this land, and it's part of our impact fee fund, and that's where the money comes from.
All right, thank you very much. So with that, I don't know if Steve needs to present officially item 9, but item next up is the fiscal year 2025 budget amendment, the amount of $4,250,000 for the purchase of real property for a community park site.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Whitlock,
we are on agenda item number 10,
number 9.
9. Okay. Do I need to make a motion to approve that?
That would be the one, yes.
I would move that we approve agenda item number 9, fiscal year 2025 budget amendment in the amount of $4,250,000 for the purchase of real property for a community park site.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve item 9. Is there discussion on the motion? If not, clerk call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Cavanagh.
Aye.
Little Roberts. Taylor.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Whitlock.
Aye.
All ayes, motion carries. Item is agreed to. Next item up is item 10, which is resolution number 25-2512. Have a motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Whitlock.
I was so anxious. I was going to jump to that before we did the budget amendment. I would move that we approve agenda item number 10, resolution number 25-2512 for the purchase of real property.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 25-2512. Is there any discussion? If not, clerk call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Cavanagh.
Aye.
Little Roberts. Taylor.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Whitlock.
Aye.
All ayes, motion carries and item is agreed to. Next up is item 11, which is resolution number 25-2513.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Whitlock.
I would move that we approve agenda item number 11, resolution number 25-2513 for the purchase of certain real property.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 25-2513. Is there discussion on the motion?
Sure.
Councilman Cavanagh.
Real quick, now that the budget amendment's been approved and one of the purchase agreements has been authorized, I feel real confident where this other one's going. I just want to thank Mr. Bottles, Mr. Starman, Mr. Sidaway. I remember when there was a lot of discussion about Owyhee. It's like, that felt so far away. And I was out there this week and it sure feels a whole lot closer than I remember it. But there's important infrastructure that's out there. We've got the school, got a fire station out there, roads, and I think this addition of a park is really vital infrastructure to serve our current and future residents. So, Mr. Bottles, thank you for your help on this, and Mr. Sidaway, Mr. Starman, your navigation and keeping us informed in the process is just masterclass, and I'm really excited for our residents to see this move forward.
I'd just like to echo I didn't know if anyone else wanted to speak, but echo the sentiments and appreciate the collaborative approach of everyone to make this happen. And obviously the value donation that's out there. A lot of things could have been, a lot more money could have been made by selling this property in a different way. But the community gets built because of people stepping in and helping making it happen. So really appreciate it. And this will be a special place once it's all moving forward. So thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Whitlock.
last year, I think one of my very first meetings as a newly appointed council member was with Council President Cavanagh and Steve, and we sat down and looked at what opportunities might be out there. And this, that point was just an opportunity. I think Mr. Bottles and Mr. Sidaway and Mr. Starman had some initial conversations and asked the question, what if? And I remember Council President Cavanagh saying, they're not making more dirt. And when we have an opportunity to preserve some open space and develop parks, we need to take a serious look at that. So from one of my very first interactions as a newly appointed council member, it was looking forward to this day when that area of the city, one of the fastest growing areas of the city, would have some space set aside for a quality park and great opportunities for the city ahead. So I echo the comments that have been made so far and express my appreciation for all the hard work that's gotten us to this point. I look outside, it's a beautiful sunshiny day, a great day to approve a acquisition of a new park in the city of Boise. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Meridian, did I say Boise? Sorry. Man.
I'll use it.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
absolutely. Any further comments? If not, clerk call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Cavanagh.
Aye.
Little Roberts.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Whitlock.
All ayes, motion carries, the item is agreed to. We look forward to closing on this property soon and making it official. So congratulations, everybody. With that, we'll move on to item 12, which is orders number 25-2078. Ask the clerk to read this ordinance by title.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's an ordinance annexing a parcel of land that includes Ada County Highway District right-of-way to be annexed into the city of Meridian. Said parcel being located in a portion of the southeast quarter of the southwest quarter of Section 16, Township 3 North, Range 1 East, Boise Meridian, Ada County, Idaho. More particularly described in Exhibit A, rezoning 1.120 acres of such real property from R1 to the CG zoning district, directing city staff to alter all applicable use and area maps, as well as the official zoning maps and all official maps depicting the boundaries in the zoning districts of the city of Meridian in accordance with this ordinance. Providing that copies of this ordinance shall be filed with the Ada County Assessor, the Ada County Treasurer, the Ada County Recorder, and the Idaho State Tax Commission as required by law, repealing conflicting ordinances and providing an effective date.
Thank you. Council, you've heard this ordinance read by title. Is there anybody that would like it read in its entirety? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Taylor.
move that we approve ordinance number 25-2078.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 25-2078. Is there discussion? If not, clerk call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Cavanagh.
Aye.
Little Roberts.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Whitlock.
All ayes, motion carries. Sam is agreed to. Next item up is item 13, which is ordinance number 25-2079. Ask the clerk to read this ordinance by title.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's an ordinance for rezone of parcels of land located in the portion of the southwest quarter of the northeast quarter of Section 15, Township 3 North, Range 1 West, Boise Meridian, City of Meridian, Ada County, Idaho. More particularly described in Exhibit A, rezoning 188.70 acres of real land from the HE, CC, and TNC zoning districts to the R15 and CG zoning districts in the Meridian City Code, directing city staff to alter all applicable use and area maps as well as the official zoning maps and all applicable official maps depicting the boundaries and zoning districts of the city of Meridian in accordance with this ordinance. Provided that copies of this ordinance shall be filed with the Ada County Assessor, the Ada County Treasurer, the Ada County Recorder, and the Idaho State Tax Commission are required by law and providing an effective date.
Thank you, Council. You've heard this ordinance read by title. Is there anybody that would like it read in its entirety? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Taylor.
move that we approve ordinance number 25-2079.
I have a motion and a second to approve ordinance number 25-2079. Is there discussion? If not, clerk call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Cavanagh.
Aye.
Little Roberts. Taylor.
Aye.
Overton.
Aye.
Whitlock.
All ayes, motion carries. Sam is agreed to. Council, we've reached the end of our work session.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Cavanagh.
adjourn the work session.
Motion second to adjourn the work session. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned.